Welcome to Lesson 2, Introduction to Operations and Integers. To better appreciate our next lesson, allow me to give you four situations. Situation 1 is all about Lucy and her tuba lessons. Lucy needs to walk going to her tuba lesson, which is 3 blocks away from the bus stop. After walking 2 blocks, she realized that she dropped her music sheet. So she's here ready. So she went back, which is the blue indicator here, and found it. Then she continues her journey and finally arrived in her destination. With the situation of Lucy, your classmate Jason represented her journey by using integers to find the total distance walked by Sheena. So according to Jason, she walks 2 blocks forward. So that's a positive 2 because it's going to the right based from our previous lesson. And then she walks 1 block backward. So that's going to the left. So that means it's a negative 1. And then she walks 2 blocks forward since she already found her music sheet. So she continues in her journey going to her tuba lesson. And that would be 2 blocks going to the right, so plus 2. So now, based from her answer, that's 2 minus 1 is 1, plus 2 is 3. So the question now is, do you agree that the total distance walked by Sheena is 3? Okay, let's have situation 2 about seeing corals in the ocean. So Romeo dives to a depth of 3 meters. While he is in the water, he saw some corals and he decided to move closely by diving 5 meters lower from his current location. So I have 2 questions for you. What would be the representation of the situation to arrive with the current depth of Romeo below the sea level? And at what depth is he in now? Because originally he dives 3 meters only below the water, but she even go deeper. So what would be the answer for this? Situation 3 is all about budgeting. So let's say Jeffrey spends 50 pesos each day for transportation from home to school. Thus, his budget for transportation is 1,000 pesos since 50 times 20 is equal to 1,000. So take note, we have 20 days usually in a month because 5 days in a week, and then there are 4 weeks in a month. So that's why it's a 20. So 50 times 20, that's 1,000. But due to a number of holidays and strikes, there were 4 fewer days in February than the usual. So the question now is, what will be the representation for the transportation expenses for 4 fewer days? And what is the transportation expense for 4 fewer days? So take note, it would be lower than the 1,000 considering that there are days in which Jeffrey doesn't need to spend 50 pesos for his transportation. And then we have our fourth situation, the ATM machine. So Rina needs to withdraw 20,000 pesos from an ATM machine. So the ATM can dispense. When we say dispense, it can actually give you, the machine can give you or provide you or release a certain amount. So it says that a maximum of 5,000 pesos only at a time. So if it exceeds more, then the machine will not release any amount. So that means you have to deal with the 5,000. But again, Rina needs to withdraw 20,000 pesos. So the question now is, how many times will she have to withdraw from the ATM to obtain the needed amount? All of these questions, situations coming from the four situations, can be answered after we deal with our next lesson. And that would be performing fundamental operations in integers.